Today we're diving into Brian Biro's insights on breakthrough leadership.
That's exciting. What's the key takeaway from his philosophy?
Well, he believes that leadership isn't just about theories or competencies,
Right.
but it's a deeply human act of connection, vision, and energy.
Interesting. Can you explain more about that?
He uses this metaphor of the yield sign you never saw to illustrate how our memory and conditioning blind us to possibilities. It's like most people still think yield signs are yellow, even though they've been red and white for over 50 years.
That's fascinating. So he's saying we often see with our memory instead of our vision?
Exactly. We tend to rely on past experiences rather than seeing things as they truly are.
Right.
And that limits our ability to lead effectively.
So how does this relate to leadership?
Well, he emphasizes that you've got to see it before you can be it.
Yeah.
Meaning leaders need to have a clear vision and see the potential in themselves and others.
I like that. So it's about breaking free from old perceptions?
Precisely. He even shared an anecdote about his daughter, Kelsey. He always saw her as his little girl, but she had grown into
Right.
this amazing adult ready to serve in Ghana.
Oh, wow, that's a powerful lesson.
Yeah. It taught him to update his vision of people
Mm-hmm.
and see them as they are now, not as they were.
That's something we all could work on.
Definitely. And he talks about energy too. He says energy is a direct reflection of your purpose.
Right.
So leaders can choose to energize or deplete those around them.
That's interesting. How does one choose to energize others?
Well, by aligning with their purpose and bringing enthusiasm to what
Yeah.
they do. He believes that when you're passionate, energy flows effortlessly.
Makes sense. So purpose fuels energy?
Exactly. And he also emphasizes the power of questions. He says, leadership isn't about answers, it's about
Right.
questions. Being a master asker unlocks innovation and confidence in teams.
I love that. So asking the right questions can empower others?
Yes. He differentiates between enabling and disabling questions. Enabling questions inspire and focus on possibilities, while disabling questions dwell on problems and limitations.
Got it. So leaders should focus on asking more enabling questions?
Absolutely. He suggests maintaining a 5-to-1 ratio of enabling to disabling questions,
Right.
and always ending on a positive note.
That's a great practice, but, is it realistic to always be positive?
Well, that's a fair point. It's not about ignoring challenges, but about
Yeah.
framing them in a way that motivates solutions rather than dwelling on problems.
I see what you mean. So it's more about the approach?
Exactly. And he also talks about the importance of receiving. He says, receiving is giving someone else the chance to feel the joy of giving. Leaders
Right.
often struggle with accepting appreciation or help.
That's true. Why do you think that is?
Maybe it's humility or not wanting to seem self-absorbed, but he argues that graciously receiving strengthens connections.
That makes sense. It's about completing the circle of giving and receiving.
Exactly. And perhaps one of his most powerful points is the value of presence. The greatest gift you can give anyone is your full presence.
Right.
In our distracted world, being fully present is rare and impactful.
Absolutely. But don't you think it's challenging to always be fully present, especially with so many distractions?
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, but it's about making
Yeah.
a conscious effort to be in the moment with someone.
I suppose that can make a big difference in relationships.
Definitely. He shared an exercise where simply asking and listening can create deep connections even with strangers, showing
Right.
the power of presence.
That's inspiring. So overall, his philosophy is about intentionality in leadership?
Exactly. Leadership is a choice. It's about being intentional with vision, energy, questions, receiving, and presence, leading from the heart.
I really like that. It's a refreshing take on leadership.
It is. And it reminds us that true breakthroughs come not just from strategies, but from courage to engage deeply,
Right.
to envision boldly, and to energize fully.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing these insights. It's given me a lot to think about.
Glad to hear that. Maybe we can all start applying some of these principles in our own lives. Small
Yeah.
changes can lead to big breakthroughs.
Couldn't agree more.
One more thing. Brian Biro has created a series of videos on Fuel Inc. They offer Netflix-style training courses that are binge-worthy, and I invite you to subscribe. Go to https://www.myfuel.io.